Hey everybody! I'm going to show you today how to do some DIY planner clip storage. I made myself a couple of these a couple weekends ago and I absolutely adore them and I hope you love them too. I used two 11 by 14 frames for the two I've already made. Here's a third one because I've really gotten quite a lot of clips over the past couple months. Got myself a metal ruler and here I am getting a pencil. You're going to need some sort of adhesive. I use a roller adhesive because it's just easy. And then you're going to need some paper. I've got, I think, 6 or 7 sheets here of 12 by 12 paper. And I chose them to just sort of fit my color scheme in my craft room. And I picked papers on purpose that didn't have too much of a pattern because I didn't want it to look real cluttered. And then, of course, I've got my cutting board there. I neglected to show you that you'll also need a cutting mat and a craft knife. So the first thing that I'm doing here is I'm prying up those little metal thingamajiggies, very technical term there, thingamajiggies on the back of the frame so that I can pull out that cardboard piece, or press board rather. That's the piece that we're going to use to make the clip storage. So I'm going to pull that and kind of keep it there with me and then put the rest of the frame over to the side until the end when I'll be ready to assemble the whole thing. And we're going to be adhering our paper to the front side there of the board. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut the piece of paper that's going to go at the top. And I've chosen this world pattern, and I decided, here I am getting ready to turn it around, yeah, because I want the part that's on the left to show. So I was trying to decide how big I should cut this, because I kind of know how I'm going to fold it, but I wasn't really technical about sizing, so I decided to cut it at 8 inches, just to be absolutely sure I had enough. And the scrap I'm just putting off to the side because I don't need that. And this piece needs to be bigger than all the other pieces because the bottom of it is going to be folded up and to make a fold for the clips to go on. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn it over, and I'm going to fold the bottom, what's going to be the bottom part, to about roughly 2 inches. I wasn't real worried about getting it exact, but it should be in the ballpark of around 2 inches. And then I'm going to fold that part up. So the line that's in the middle there is the folded part, and that's what the paper clips are going to attach to. And I'm leaving about 2 inches at the top. So this piece altogether turns out to be about 4 inches roughly from top to bottom. So I'm going to put that piece to the side. That piece has to go at the top of the frame. All of the other pieces I'm going to cut the same way that you're about to see. So I'm going to cut all of these at 5 inches. And let's see, go ahead and cut that. I think I'm trying to decide right now if that's really what it should be. There we go. And then I'm going to turn it over and fold it just once so that there's about a 1/2 inch of white part remaining. So again, I'm folding about 2 inches down and then leaving that that little strip of white on the back. That's about a 1/2 inch. It doesn't have to be, again, perfect or exact. It just has to be in the ballpark, okay? And then I'm putting that to the side, and I'm going to cut all my other sheets of paper the same, and here I am fast forwarding through those so that you don't have to watch me cut really slow. Some of these pages that I picked that have sort of a directional pattern, you need to sort of think about how you want those to appear when they're on your frame. Do you want the pattern to be vertical or horizontal? So think about that when you're cutting. This last sheet, I turn it around a few times. There was a little white bit in one of the corners that I didn't want to show, so I cut that part off. So here we go. Here's the last piece being cut and folded. And now it is time to adhere all the strips to that backer board. Oh, first I'm going to lay them all out and kind of decide what order I want all these sheets to go in. So my house is like very neutral with teal colors, and I used this kind of beachy pattern paper, and I just wanted to arrange it so that the colors were in a nice order, and to me that looks pretty nice, so that's what I'm going to go with. And we need to start off with this one large piece that we cut first because it has that strip at the top. And we're going to adhere this so that it's right up against the top of the backer board. And see, there's a little bit extra hanging over there on either side, but that's fine because we're going to cut that off at the end, so that's okay. So I'm going to put, I think I put 2 strips of adhesive. I went ahead and put one on that inside piece just to make sure that it was good and down, and then I'm going to put one more strip next to the first one I laid down. So the adhesive is all towards the bottom, and that's so that where the folded part is not glued down, so that you can get your clips in there. And I'm just pressing that down really well. And then what I'm going to do is use my ruler to measure down from the fold 1 3/4 inches. Or again, in that ballpark. I think when I did my first ones, I did like an 1/8 inch short of that. This time I decided to do 1 3/4 inches. I'm just, whatever measurement you're choosing, you just want it to be long enough that the paperclip part can fit behind there. And those pencil marks are going to help me figure out where to line up the next strip of paper. So again, I'm going to put the adhesive on that white strip, which really I guess there was no need to leave the white strip. I could have just folded it all the way. And then one more strip of adhesive next to that. And I'm going to just cover up those pencil marks, then I don't have to go back and erase them later, and I'll be sure that my paper is nice and straight. And you'll see that the pocket that it leaves behind there, that's where your paper clips are going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through adhering down the rest of these. Again, leaving 1 3/4 inches every time. Getting these on there. I forgot to measure first a couple of times. I got so excited about putting on the adhesive that I was like, hello, need to measure. So here we go. We're almost down to the bottom. This is the second to the last piece going on. And you'll see the teeny tiny little bit at the bottom there. So what I'm having to do is, my last piece of paper is actually bigger than it needs to be. See how it's a little bit too long? So I'm going to mark that right here and then cut it off. I mean, I could have adhered it on and then cut it off with a craft knife too, I suppose. That would have been just as good. But I had my handy dandy trimmer there, so why not? So here we go, cutting that part off, trying to make it nice and straight. And then because that piece is so narrow, I only put 1 strip of adhesive on the back. The frame will also help hold that piece in place, so I didn't think it was terribly necessary to have 2. I'm having some trouble here getting my adhesive out, so I'm adjusting the roller. And here it goes. So this piece will be stuck, and I'm just going to line it up at the bottom, make it nice and straight. And then you can see all the stripes that are all showing are all the same width. So that helps to give a nice, clean and cohesive kind of look. You could, of course, depending on your clips, you could adjust the spacing of those strips if you needed some of the spaces to be wider or narrower. I have quite a variety of clips. Some are very wide and some are very narrow. And I like the look of having all of my strips the same width. So that's what I did, but you could certainly adjust it to how you want. And here I am just trimming off the excess pieces on the left and right. What I love about this project is that you don't have to be super duper precise about any of it. It's going to come out looking great no matter what you do. The whole project, I think, the raw video is 15 minutes. So, I mean, start to finish, that's as much time as it took me. So it's pretty awesome. There's the board. Excuse me, with the strips completed, and now what we're going to do is put the frame back together. So, excuse this heinous shirt that I'm wearing. It's a Sunday, and I still have to do laundry, and I'm wearing like the junkiest shirt that I own, which is just lovely. So I'm taking out the rest of the frame ingredients, and we're going to lay that board back in the frame upside down so that the paper will show from the front. And then I went ahead and put my glass piece back in, just so that I would know where it was and I wouldn't have to worry about storing it somewhere else. And then I put the mat on last so that these little metal pieces, when I fold them back down again, they're not directly touching the glass. So flip those bad boys down, and then you guys, this is it. Your frame is done. Look how pretty. Oh my gosh. And then all you have to do is grab a few clips and, you know, start getting those in there. And this is probably what's going to take you the longest, trying to decide which ones to put where. Should you put them together by maker, or should you put them by color? Should you put them by style? There are just so many different ways to do it. And it's just, I had a lot of fun with this. So I hope you find this helpful. I hope you make one of your own. Here's a couple pictures of mine hanging on my wall. I just used the Velcro command strips to hang them up. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye.